Hello, Bible scholars. How are you? It is your mom of three in NYC, and I am back with another video. Yay! Bible scholar. Oh, sorry. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is Taneza. I am the mother of three my kids are super social kids living in the heart of New York City. I am on an adventure to read through the Bible for the very first time. I would love to have you join me and my Bible scholars. All you have to do to be a member of my YouTube family, my tribe, is to hit the button that says subscribe. All right, to all my current tribe members, Bible scholars, thank you for your support. Please make sure that you turn on your post notifications for my channel so that way you are aware of every single upload. Every single upload. All right, Bible scholars, today is a bittersweet day. Today's video will be a review of the final 2 chapters of Seconds. I really enjoyed this book. I have to admit, I have enjoyed 2 Samuel. I have. I learned so much. Literally, like 99% of it was new to me. So today we are reviewing 2 Samuel chapters 23 and 24. I'm so proud of us, you guys. You guys, I am so proud of us. You have no idea. And you know what's so wild is that my mother, she was a Bible study teacher and Sunday school teacher. She just loved the word. And growing up, I never understood it. I was like, why is she always reading her Bible? And she would just be highlighting and underlining, and she put Post-it notes and tabs. But now I get it. As a grown adult, I get it. A grown adult. I never want to stop reading it. Thank you to the Bible scholars that left in the comments for yesterday's video the verses in David's song of praise that touched their hearts. I really enjoyed reading those. All right, let's get to it. 2 Samuel, chapters 23 and 24. So chapter 23, these are the last words of David. David says that the Lord spoke through him. Verse 2, the Spirit of the Lord spoke through me. His word was on my tongue. David speaks of the everlasting covenant that he has with God. David's mighty men are listed, one of whom killed 800 men in one encounter. There was a band of Philistines at the valley of Rephaim. I wanted to read verses 14, 15, and 16. At that time, David was in the stronghold, and the Philistine garrison was at Bethlehem. David longed for water and said, "Oh, that someone would get me a drink of water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem." So the 3 mighty men broke through the Philistine lines, drew water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem, carried it back to David. But he refused to drink it. Instead, he poured it out before the Lord. And so I have in my notes, do we think that that's an offering? Like, did David do that even though he was thirsty and asked for the water? When it was brought back to him, he did not drink it. What do you guys think? In the comments below, was that an offering to the Lord? Abishai, remember he rescued David previously, was the commander of the mighty 3. He had also killed hundreds, 300 to be exact. Among the 30, it lists from verses 24 through 39, David's mighty men. Chapter 24. All right, so I read verse 1. I read verse 1 in every single translation I could find. NIV, KJV, ASV, Living Word. So my NIV says, again, the anger of the Lord burned against Israel. He incited David against them, saying, go and take a census of Israel and Judah. So I read that as the Lord is what encouraged David to go take a census. But we find out later in the chapter that that's not a good thing. And I found out that that goes against what was instructed in the book of Numbers. So in Numbers chapter 1, Leviticus, Numbers, verse 49, you must not count the tribe of Levi or include them in the census of the other Israelites. David gave this direction to Joab, who gave him pushback, but ultimately David stood by his command. And they were gone, it says in the Bible, 9 months and 20 days. So literally almost 10 months. And David had told Joab to count all of the men who were able to fight. Joab reported back that Israel had 800,000 able-bodied men who could handle a sword. Judah had 500,000 able-bodied men who could handle a sword. David should have never instructed them to take a census. And because he did, he had to be punished. Verse 10, it says, David was conscience stricken after he had counted the fighting men. He said to the Lord, I have sinned greatly in what I have done. Now, O Lord, I beg you, take away the guilt of your servant. I have done a very foolish thing. Before David got up the next morning, the word of the Lord had come to Gad the prophet, and God gave Gad directions. David was given 3 choices. Would he rather have 3 years of famine? But it's not just 3 years, because it turns out the word in Hebrew means 7. Means 7. So he got to choose, David, between 7 years of famine, 3 months of fleeing from their enemy, or 3 days of a plague. It says in verse 14, David said to Gad, I am in deep distress. Let us fall into the hands of the Lord, for his mercy is great, but do not let me fall into the hands of men. So the Lord sent a plague in verse 15 on Israel from that morning until the end of the time designated. 70,000 of the people from Dan to Beersheba died. Verse 17, when David saw the angel who was striking down the people, he said to the Lord, I am the one who has sinned and done wrong. These are but sheep. What have they done? Let your hand fall upon me, my family. Again, David wants to take responsibility for what happened. God tells David to build an altar. Verse 19. So David went up as the Lord had commanded through Gad. He goes to this man named Araunah. Araunah asked David, why have you arrived? David wants to buy his threshing floor to build an altar to the Lord so that the plague on his people will end. And this Araunah was such a good guy. I'm going to read for you the last 4 verses of 2 Samuel. Verses 22, 23, 24, and 25. Araunah said to David, let my lord the king take whatever pleases him and offer it up. Here are oxen for the burnt offering, and here are threshing sledges and ox yokes for the wood. O king, Araunah gives all this to the king. Araunah also said to him, may the Lord your God accept you. But the king replied to Araunah, no, I insist on paying you for it. I will not sacrifice to the Lord my God burnt offerings that cost me nothing. David knew to be an offering, it comes at a cost. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen and paid 50 shekels of silver for them. David built an altar to the Lord there and sacrificed burnt offerings and fellowship offerings. Then the Lord answered prayer in behalf of the land, and the plague on Israel was stopped. All right, Bible scholars, what's our tradition? We sing in celebration. So we have read Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel. We have read 10 books of the Bible. Ready? I get to serenade you. I know I can't sing. It's from my heart though. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I hope that you are proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I hope that you are proud of you. Yay! Yay! Amazing job, Bible scholars. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. You guys, it's an enduring commitment. That's what this is, an enduring commitment. And I thank you for it. I thank you for making this adventure such a revelatory, enriching, eye-opening one. Truly. And Bible scholars, I'm loving the 2 chapters a day. Before we did like 5, 3 days a week, but I love the consistency of the 2 a day, and it feels like a great rhythm. So in the comments below, do you guys still feel the same way? The two chapters per day schedule. Bible scholars, our next review, we are in the book of Kings chapters 1 and 2. We will be covering those chapters in our next review. Congratulations, guys. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of us. And anyone that wants to join the adventure, come on now. Perfect time. We are about to start 1 Kings. This is a perfect time if you wanted to. Again, you haven't missed. You are not late. It's something we're doing for fun. This is not a class. You're not getting a grade. We're just doing this because it's something I'd never done. And the more I read, the more I realize how much I love the Bible. So again, if you would love to join in our adventure and become a Bible scholar, come on. Welcome. We would love to have you. We would love to have you. We review 2 chapters a day. I post a review every single day. I try to keep my videos 11 to 14 minutes. They used to be really long. And I was like, well, this is a lot for a lot of people. So I try to keep them 11 to 14 minutes where I just have a summary and a review of the chapters we read. Love to extend the invitation to new Bible scholars out there. We would love to have you. We would love, and it's the perfect time to join the adventure. We're starting a brand new book, 1 Kings. So welcome. Have an amazing rest of your hump day Wednesday. And I will see you in our next review. Bye, Bible scholars.